The eagle snatched the fox and took off. Amazing things happened after that. Consider the following scenario. You're out for a stroll with your preferred snack, which you enjoy eating on the go, when all of a sudden someone snatches it from you, takes it, and keeps it for themselves. It would infuriate you. That's precisely what happened to a starving and destitute fox who was harassed by a haughty and self-serving eagle. You will be shocked by what transpired next, though. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. This tale begins in a manner reminiscent of a bedtime tale for kids. There was a hungry fox deep in the forest, perched on a verdant mountainside. Due to the recent extreme heat, a large portion of the fox's normal prey had perished, making food scarce. In addition, there was the additional factor of needing to distribute the meager food supply among nearby predators. The fox was in dire need of food because, regrettably, he had not eaten in several exhausting days. He didn't want to die from the severe circumstances that had made his prey so difficult to locate after all. The fox had to leave his comfort zone and the confines of his house, although he would ordinarily stay in the forest and wait for something to come to him. But with food so scarce, would he be able to catch something? It was still up in the air. He walked to a meadow on the outside of the woodland and took in the view. The lush green grass extended for a few hundred meters before abruptly ending to reveal a steep, stony, and rocky ravine. It was a truly stunning but difficult terrain. At that moment, the fox noticed some movement in the far grass. He stared with an odd twist of his head at first, not sure if it was the wind, but soon he saw a glimpse of a hare. That would satisfy him and make him happy for a good several days. He, therefore, made the conscious decision to approach the small, fluffy animal stealthily while it was grazing, blissfully oblivious to any approaching danger. But was the fox capable of capturing this specific offering? The results of a hunt like this are too many to count, but he would soon find out. Hares are generally wary animals, and they can detect the presence of predators thanks to their large ears, sensitive paws, and relatively keen vision. But sometimes hunger overcomes common sense, and hares will go far from their warrens in search of a juicy, mouth-watering patch of grass to nibble on. This hare was intentionally placing himself in danger by doing just that. The fox quickened his pace as he got closer, and soon he was racing across the meadow in the direction of the hare. Sadly, the small animal was made aware of the fox's existence by the sound of his dashing through the rustling grass, and he quickly fled, racing back home. While that may have been a considerable distance to cover, hares' inherently strong legs enable them to run extremely fast over small distances. The fox realized there would be no simple way for him to capture his prey this time, as he saw him fly into his warren hole. In nature, things don't always come easily, but patience was the name of the game. The fox realized that he would have to wait a little while longer to eat. He retreated to a reasonable distance and crouched down in a large grass patch that concealed his reddish-orange, rusty skin tone. As predicted, the hare reappeared in the open meadow after nearly an hour. This time, the fox did not move until the hare was only a few meters away from him, lying perfectly flat and motionless. He bounded forward, startling his victim once more. The hare, however, was unable to respond in time to flee this time. The fox wrapped its fangs around the small, hairy creature's body before he realized what had happened and crushed and squeezed him to death. The fox emerged victorious, and the hare perished in a couple of moments. What is perhaps more shocking is what transpired after that. Something unexpected happened to the fox as he began to take the hare back towards the trees. Seeing an opportunity to take advantage of the fox and the hare, the sly eagle flew in and snipped him up. The fox, however, had other plans. The fox released the lifeless hare from his mouth, then twisted his head to bite onto the eagle's leg. It screeched and began to use its razor-sharp beak to poke at the fox. It would have been disastrous for the small hunter if a talon had punctured the incorrect spot. The beak had gotten a hold of the fox's eyes, or anything else crucial. Fortunately, though, the fox escaped with no significant injuries, almost like a miracle. The fox freed its attacker by biting his legs once more. The fox plummeted several meters to land in the dirt with a bang. He was fortunate not to have suffered any serious injuries, but as he looked up, he saw the eagle circle back around and dive for the hare, catching it with its talons and carrying it back across the field. The fox realized that his chances of surviving the following several days were very slim if the eagle was able to take off with the meal. After all, he had been hunting and pursuing the hare for a considerable amount of time, and in addition to starvation, fatigue was setting in. But the eagle would not be taken lightly. Food was scarce not just for the fox, but also for the eagle. The eagle had to eat too, and since times were tight, it was willing to steal someone else's kill in order to do so. Compared to completing all the laborious work himself, it was far simpler and less taxing. The fox, however, was not going to give up on his prey that lightly. He began after the eagle, which was having difficulty gaining height due to the weight of the hare and the recent injury to its leg. The cunning fox ran at full speed, trying to get his eyes as close to the prize as he could. The race was truly breathtaking and would have left onlookers in a state of complete shock. The eagle may have dove over the edge and gained enough momentum to gain some height and reach safety as it headed into the valley just below the meadow. The eagle was able to land, take care of his wound, and enjoy his stolen feast after he was far away from the wolf that had just taken his food. The fox, however, had other plans. Chasing the eagle across the fields, the fox abruptly turned left and sprang to the top of a rocky protrusion, nearly coming level with the bird. This was the moment the fox leaped. Fortunately, he was able to latch his jaws around the hare just in time to avoid missing and falling into the valley below. No matter how far the eagle swung or hovered, the fox held on to the object this time. The hare was impaled by the eagle's talons, which dug in even farther. Still, the hare refused to release its grip. This was a true fight, and the victor would receive a delectable reward. If anyone had been present to see such a daring and courageous maneuver, they undoubtedly would have applauded and rejoiced when the fox succeeded in regaining the food he had so urgently sought. An eagle with its claws embedded in a hare, and a fox hanging and flapping from the carcass of its meal, was truly a remarkable sight. But the fox's jaw was relaxing, and he was beginning to tire. Fortunately, though, the eagle was growing tired too, descending as the fox's weight increased. The fox soon found himself on the ground, stopping short of the edge of the valley. He buried all 4 of his paws in the earth and kept pulling until the eagle released its grip. Everything was just too much. The fox observed the eagle take flight down the valley in search of a perch where it could heal its wounds. That cunning and ferocious old bird would have no food today. Exhausted but triumphant, the fox hauled the hare off in anticipation of enjoying his hard-earned meal. And that's it. It only goes to show that you should never give up, even if someone else steps in to try and take your reward. What did you think of this magnificent struggle, a story found in nature? And who did you think would catch the hare in the end? Please let us know by leaving a comment below. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.